again. I'm Mary Bond, and this time I'd like to share with you some information about two bones at the base of your pelvis. We're going to do an experiment, so you need to stand up. The first thing is to just bend your knees a little bit and then tip forward and put two fingers of your right hand on your pubic bone here and two fingers of your left hand on your left sit bone here. And then just stay like that for a moment. Those 2 points where your hands are connected by this branch of bone. It's called the ischiopubic ramus, and ramus means branch. So for the experiment, you need to walk your fingers very slowly along that branch of bone so that you really feel it. You really feel that there is a bone there. So eventually your fingers will meet in the middle. And it's obvious that you are touching something hard. You're touching bone. But it might not be so clear to you that the bone is being touched by your fingers. And that's an important distinction. So see if you can change something in your mind and allow yourself to imagine that the bone could actually feel your contact as you slowly move your fingers back along that branch. Really feeling into the bone level of yourself. All right? So you get back to the pubic bone and your left sit bone. And then it would be good if you could pause the video at this point and just repeat that whole process slowly one more time. I'll see you in a minute. Now stand back up, relax, and take a moment to notice your impressions. You might feel that your left leg is somehow more connected to the ground through your foot, your hip. Your left leg might feel more real to you, as if your right leg is kind of empty or abstract. There are many ways to feel the results of this experiment, and whatever you feel is correct for you. The main thing I want us to take away from this is that there is a bone there. Many people are not aware of the pelvic branches unless they've given birth or sat astride a horse for a very long time. But I want us to be aware of these bones not because of discomfort, but as an essential part of our sense of weight and grounding. So pause again, palpate the other side, and then you'll have more of a sense of balance before we move on. The ischiopubic ramus forms part of the boundary of the area I've been calling the pelvic floor diamond. And that diamond-shaped space is filled in by a sling of several layers of muscles. So we can talk about the pelvic floor space, which is surrounded by bone, or the pelvic floor muscles. In my DVD, Heal Your Posture, I suggest several ways to use the pelvic floor muscles as a way of accessing your deep corset or your deep core support. Here I've tried to make a model of the pelvic floor muscles. It's kind of a funnel shape. And it fits into the pelvic basin like that. I made the front part of it green to remind you, if you practice those exercises, to focus on the front triangle of your pelvic floor. And just so you know, your bladder would fit in there, sort of like that, and your uterus sits on top. When you practice activating the pelvic floor muscles, they will lift a little bit. And that can be a problem if that makes you lose your sense of weight in the pelvic floor bones, because that will diminish your sense of weight and it will diminish your sense of connection to the ground. So, when you're practicing the pelvic floor exercises, see if you can sustain that felt sense of the reality of the pelvic rami, the bones that we were working with before. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.